Good morning. Okay, ladies, let's get going. How are we? Nice to see you, Val. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going to do inner thighs today. So make sure you have your Pilates ring or a ball handy. We're also going to do the band and then heavy and lighter weights, lighter for lateral arm work. Okay? So water and a towel, whatever else you need. Big deep breath. And then exhale out. As you do this, really try to go long on the arms and try to lift out of your hips. So you're pushing upward from the top of your head, right? Of course you are. Okay, now we're going to do one arm. Let the hip go out to the side. Let the arm go up and reach it over. And then do the other side. Oh, you should feel these side stretches down the hips as well as the side body, especially if they're tight. I can definitely feel this. One more time. Nice. Now bring the elbows close to the side of the body, connect the palms. So you're standing really tall and long. And then you're just going to open the hands. Crowd out the chest, but pull your stomach in. And then bring the hands back together. And then just repeat this a few times. So your elbows are staying nice and close to your side body. When you move out, it's the forearm that you want to be rotating out, not the wrists, right? So really try to push those forearms back and then bring the palms together. When you bring the palms together, push them in tight. So you're activating muscle, waking up body. Just one more of these. Nice. Now you're going to take your fingers behind you. I'll turn around so you can see and push them away from you. You're clasping your fingers together, clasping, and then lift them up. Crowd out the chest, get tall. Nice. Now sweep them all the way up and take your gaze and follow your hands. And then let's just repeat this a few times. Clasp the fingers, lift the arms, crowd out the chest, and sweep them up. And one last time. Lift them as high as you can back there. So you really feel a pinch in the upper back between the shoulder blades. Okay, one more time going up. Now we're going to do a nice slow swan dive all the way down. Push your hips back, wade into your heels and let your head go. So much to remember. So one hand at a time above the knees, take your body and get your torso parallel to the floor. So lift it back up just halfway. Take the left arm, reach you forward as you drive the hips back, even if it's subtle. And then same with the other arm, and bring the left hand back to your thigh. Reach that right arm, really long. And then switch again. Spread your fingers wide, palm faces the earth now. And just keep alternating, reach it. If you're trying to grab something. A couple more. Now, of course, I'm going to remind you, just because it's so important, make sure you're pulling your stomach in. Couple more. That's it. Here we go. Hands to your thighs. Lift your head. Lift your torso up a little bit so you feel the muscles that run along your spine. With your hands on your quads, I want you to round your back and do what we call a standing cat-cow. So big arch in the back. Let your head go. And then reverse it. Crowd out the chest. Draw the shoulders back. Pull the stomach in. And repeat that a few times. So this is a great way, if you're in a hurry and you feel tightness throughout your day, if you're sitting too much or whatever, you can do these standing cat-cows at your desks or wherever you are. One more. It's a great way to release the low back if you don't have a lot of time to get down on the floor. Okay, so now I want you to bend your knees and let them come forward over the toes. What we're doing here is stretching out the Achilles and the lower part of the calf muscle. So push the knees forward and then straighten the legs, fold halfway down with the torso, retract the shoulders. And now just come back, bend those knees, let them come forward. You're wading into the toes. So much so that you might feel like, oh my goodness, I could fall forward. So you get a nice stretch. And then straighten the leg, take the torso down halfway. Now you're feeling that nice release and length coming into the back of the legs. One more time, take those knees forward, way over the toes. Take a peek and see if you're getting them. So you get that really great stretch. Okay, now we're going to do a full fold. Since we did those standing cat-cows, we should be able to get the torso a little closer to our legs. So I want you to really puff out your rib cage as you breathe here. 5 big, huge breaths. Okay, we're going to inhale to a flat back. How good did that feel? Straighten out your legs, draw the hips back, walk your fingers forward. Where are we stretching? Back of the body and your lats. Now bend the knees slightly, come forward, get off the heels so you're up on your toes. Put the heels down, drift your hips backwards, stretch out those lats. Come forward, get on the toes. Waking up your calf muscles now. And heels down, push back with the hips. One more time, bring it forward. And lower those heels, hips draw back. Now we're going to reverse swan dive all the way back up. Keep your spine nice and long. Flip your palms here to face the ceiling and drive the hands back. Cut out your chest. From here, bring the arms forward. Bring your forearms to touch. So you're getting the benefit of stretching the back of the shoulder when you do this. And then take it out nice and long again. Really try to improve your range of motion each time. Come forward, connect the forearms. And then one more time, open. Nice. Forward with the arms. This time they're just going to stay out in front. Keep your hips facing forward. Take the right arm only as far as it will let you. Keep the arm long and then bring it forward. Same with the other one. Nice and long. So you're really getting into that shoulder blade, right? Couple more. You might have a little bit more range on one side than the other, but it's not about turning the whole body sideways, right? We're keeping the hips facing forward. Come back. Palms face, reach the arms long. Do a nice slow swan dive all the way down, then I want you to walk out to plank. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, just hold your high plank. Step your knees in, so now you're in bear. High on the toes. Drift your hips backwards. And then come forward. And then take it back. And forward. And back. Last time. And forward. Hold your bear. Step back now to plank. Meet me in down dog. 5 big, huge breaths where you feel the ribs expand. Walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, unhinge, reach and lift. Sweep the arms all the way up. Get nice and tall. And then relax. Okay, here we go. Warming up, starting with our legs. Grab your weights. Heavy. Whatever you have that's heavy. When we do legs, you got to go heavy. So we're going to start out with a combination of squat and deadlift and reverse lunge. So you're towards the front of your mat. So when you step your foot back, you got room, right? So we're going to do a squat. Then we're going to do a deadlift. Then we're going to step the right leg back, squat down, bring it forward, and then the left leg. Come down and back forward. So squat, deadlift, right leg back, take the knee to the floor, come back up, and then switch. Left knee, back up. Squat, hold, step back, and switch. Nice. Do it again. Squat, hold, right leg, and left leg. And again, I'm going to run through this 3 more times. You decide how far back that foot goes. Doesn't need to go super duper far. You always want to feel stable. Okay, here's our last round of these. Squat, hold, right leg, and left leg. Nice job. Put them down. Give our hands a break. Grab your Pilates ring or your ball. We're coming down onto the floor. We're going to do inner thighs. So you're going to lie all the way down. Get comfy. Now, we're going to start with a ball or ring between the knees. And pull in and squeeze. And then release it slowly. So you're about 5 counts going in, holding, before you let it go. So pull it in, count to 5, and then let it go. And we're just going to keep repeating. Now, when you squeeze in and you're doing that 5 count, you can have that lower back push into the floor. So you could add a pelvic tilt to the move, or just pull the belly down and hold it down the whole time while you breathe. You got choices. Woohoo! So we're going to do about 8 more of these. Make them great. Really knock these out of the park with lots of intensity on the drawing in of the knees. Hopefully you got a little shaking going on. You got that little 5 count hold. When we get done these, we're going to take the Pilates ring or the ball and move it down our legs. And then we're going to still squeeze, but our feet are going to be off the floor. So finish this up. I've got 2 more to do. Okay, now let's readjust. So knees pull in, take the ball, lower it to just above the ankles. Take your legs halfway down and squeeze them in. And then roll the feet. So you're going to have the left foot facing forward and the right leg behind. So you're twisting the ball. And then twist it the other way. If you're using a Pilates ring, you're just rotating your legs. But the important part here is that you are still squeezing while you add this rotation. Should be very challenging if you're really connecting to it. You're getting a good squeeze. You're just rotating side to side. Make sure you don't lose your ball. Okay, now you're just going to hold the legs not completely over the hips, move the feet forward a little bit so you feel like you got to work to get that tummy down. And while you're working your core here, you're still squeezing your feet together. Now you're going to bend the legs and let the ball touch the floor or your heels, and then lift back up to where you were. Bend, squeeze, and lift. 3 more, that's it, then you get a break. Okay, rock and roll back up. I'm gonna go turn on some AC because it's a little steady in here. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Whatever you need, get ready. Okay, so standing up, we're gonna do some lateral arm work. So this time, I want you to give me a slight forward lean with your upper body. So if you look at me from the side, this is upright doing a lateral arm raise, and this is leaning forward. Lean forward and pull in your belly, and then give me a lateral arm raise. You're going to feel this a little more in the back of the shoulders and arms because you've got that slight forward lean. It also really forces you to work those six-pack muscles. Now, please be mindful not to swing the weights. We move them. Think of that. And then you'll connect. Most people are going like this. Woo-hoo, party time. No. You want to be slow and in control. Even if you have to go to a lighter weight, give me that good range. Okay, now I'm out of gas, so if you can do a few more, do them. I'm going to switch to a forward because I was feeling like I had to swing them to get them up, and you don't really want to do that. So this is just a little different exercise. We're going to change up the angle. So now when you lift the palm, have your palms face the midline of the body. Nice and in control, so you're working the negative when the weight comes down. Don't just let it release. You want to control it. Nice. Couple more, and we're going to switch to rows. When we do rows, we should be picking up a heavier weight. So find your, I'm going to do one at a time, and I'm going to turn my palm forward. I'm going to hinge halfway down. Got my left hand on my left leg just for some added support. I'm going to drive the elbow up, crowd out the chest, and lower back down with control. Lift up and lower. So I'm going really slow. Lift up, squeeze, really try to get the elbow high, and then lower slow. So your bicep is working here a little bit. Your triceps, you're getting that back, which is really the main focus. Really want to be feeling it under that right shoulder blade. So squeeze, get the elbow up, and then down. We're going to do about 5 more. Lift and lower and lift and lower, nice and slow. If you feel like your range of motion isn't what it was, you can always switch weights. And I'm out of gas on that arm. Woo. We're going to switch. Let's go. So right hand to the right thigh, lean down, elbow up. And down with control, right? Now, if your weight isn't in your heels, move your butt backwards. We're going to come back to those lateral arm raises in 3 more reps. So start thinking about what weights you're going to grab so we can transition relatively quickly. So let's do that now. Give me that nice forward lean again. Take the arms out and together. You want to do your best to keep your arms nice and straight. Stomach in. Remember, you're exhaling as you're trying to lift. Boy, getting hard. Okay, one more for me. Keep going, do some more if you can. I'm going to come up and come forward with the arms. Right now to start, my palms are facing down. I'm going to switch them. And now my palms are facing the midline of the body. Try to really resist it coming down so you get that benefit. And really keep your posture when you do these. So you're trying to get nice and tall and proud through the chest. 2 more. Okay. Last one. Now we're coming back to the rows. This time we're going to do both weights at the same time. We're going to do 10 repetitions. So we're going to fold halfway down. Your palms are going to face each other and come up and down relatively slowly. And again, it's all about trying to get the elbows up. Okay, 1 more to go. We're coming back down to the floor, but instead of doing inner thighs this time, we're going to do outer hips. So it's all about the band. Get your band. Meet me down on the floor. We're going to take it just above the ankles. Make sure you take the hardest one you got, right? You want to be challenged here. So we're going to change up the angle a bit. We're going to start with our feet flexed and our heels over the hips. Take it out and then bring it back together. Take it out and bring it back together. Now try to come back on 5 counts. You can go out as quick as you want, as long as you're getting good depth. Sorry, not depth, good width between the feet. And then come in on that 5 count. So right now, if your heels are over your hips, I know your low back is on the floor, right? You're pressing your belly down. We're going to change up the angle of the legs on this next repetition. I'm going to have you move your feet a little further out, like maybe an inch or 2. Now pay attention to the 6-pack muscle, how it was really forced to engage just to make you feel safe. So now you're getting that extra benefit. Make these as special as you can. So that means asking yourself every time you take those feet out, am I taking them out as far as I can? Nice job. Do a few more. Okay, now hold it out and just hold. Like relax your shoulders, your head, your neck, everything but the belly and the hips. That's what's working. Just to hold it out. Hopefully you've got some burning. If not, your feet are not far enough apart. Kill this, because we're only doing this exercise 1 time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to transition this. So come up, move your band up to be just above the knee. We're going to transition this to a clamshell, still targeting our outer glutes. So you're going to lie on your right side with your legs bent. Your feet are stacked and your knees are stacked. And what's really important is that this top hip stays forward. A lot of people, when they do these clamshells, they move the hip backwards. And that defeats you really targeting this muscle. So straighten out that right arm, lie down on it, and then lift the knee, keeping the feet connected and the hip forward, and then lower and lift. Even if your range of motion is not huge, we should be feeling this on the outer hip as long as you're keeping that hip forward. You can take your hand, your left hand, and place it on top of that hip, just as a reminder that once you begin to get tired, you don't roll back. We're going to do 8 more lifts, and then we're just going to do that nice little fold for a little bit. So slow and steady. So I got 3 to go before my hold. If you're pacing with me. Okay, so now with the hip forward, just take the knee up, hold. Don't pulse, don't move, just lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay, roll onto your back. Bring both knees up and into the chest. Keep your band where it is because we're going to do the other side. We're just going to do a little stretch before we get there. So knees are in, make a nice little circle to massage that low back. Why not? Okay, rock and roll over onto your left side. I like to start up on my forearm just so I can see my feet, but I got that nice bend. This top hip is forward. Then I stretch the arm out and take it down. Start your lifts. So it should take you about 3 counts to get up and 3 or 2 to come down. And again, you can take that right hand, place it over that hip so you don't let it roll back. Keep it forward. Last 3 before the hold, make them fabulous. Okay, lift and lift it some more and keep lifting it some more and keep lifting it some more. And pray it's going to be over quick. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and release it. Oh my goodness. Okay, rock and roll back up. We're getting rid of the band. We're going to do a little hip flexor and quad work. So really important here to sit up with your spine long, okay? So that means no rounding of the low back. Now, so this is what we call staff pose. You're going to engage the belly, pull it in. You're going to lean back just a little bit till you feel your 6-pack work. Take your hands off the mat, out to the side, fingertips only. So this is doing all the work. Okay, just to hold this position. Right leg up and over to the left and back to the right. And then switch legs. Left leg over to the right, up and back. Now keep the legs locked out straight and push the heel forward when you create the movement. So you're trying to really Reach that heel out. Don't let the belly release. So you're feeling this in your quad, front leg muscle, and your hip flexors are working to create the lift and the rotation. We're going to do 5 more. Keep the stomach in, don't round the low back. If you need to take a break, you come up, you release, and then you come back to it. We have a little plank series coming up right after this. But we're going to stretch first. 2 more. Tummy is in. Okay. Walk it forward. Now you get to round your back. It's going to feel fabulous. Forearms down on the floor. Your legs are straight. Your feet are flexed. Your head is chilling. How awesome does this release feel? So you're getting the low back and the back of the legs. Now I want you to take big, deep breaths so you really feel the ribs expand while you're here. 3 more breaths. Okay, come back up. Flip your legs around. You're going to come up onto all 4s, like you're going to do a push-up. But we're not doing a push-up right now. We're doing what we call, so I'm in sort of kneeling. I'll show you from the side. I'm in a kneeling push-up position. So I've got my shoulders over my wrists and my hips are not sinking. My face is not dropping. I'm just going to hold my belly in here because it wants to just fall with gravity. Now from here, I want you to step your left hand 1 step forward, maybe a couple of inches, and then the right hand 1 step forward, maybe a couple of inches. Nothing else is changing. You just got your hands a little further forward than where you started. We're going to take another step. So step forward, maybe take a bigger step. And then if it's easier for you to slide them along or inch them along instead of taking it right off the floor, go ahead and do that. You're still going to get the benefit of the exercise. So right now, if you have any more range to give, slide or walk the hands out a little further, just keep holding. Don't drop your face. Now get that stomach in however you do it. Breathe. So this is core and upper body, busy at work. Keep breathing. You're here for 10 more seconds. Count them slow. Nice job. Walk the hands back. We have a little reprieve. We're not done planking, but we're going to stretch out the back in child's pose. To take it down, I want you to open your knees nice and wide and be on the tops of your feet. Sit back on the heels. Keep your forehead off the floor, but walk your hands out. So your ears tuck inside the arms. Forehead is up, arms are long. So we're stretching out the lats that we were just working. So as you breathe, see if you can get your armpits going a little closer to the floor. Great little stretch. Okay, so coming up, we have 8-point plank. We're going to lift and lower those hips. If you're connecting to this, it's fairly intense. So let's meet down in a low plank with our knees on the floor. So tuck your toes under. Your hips are in line with your back and your face is up. Now the elbows are going to start under the shoulders. Lift your knees off the floor, go to a straight leg, pull the stomach in. Lower the knees in slow motion back down. Walk the elbows a tiny bit forward or slide them. Come off your knees. Feel the difference of the six-pack muscle recruitment. It's huge. Lower the knees in slow motion. One more time, bring those elbows further forward. Come off your knees. Way more intense. You're here for 5, 4, get your legs straight. 3, 2, knees down. Walk the forearms all the way back. You're right back in child's pose with your knees together. Forehead this time is coming down onto the floor. Relax the arms. So this is all about your lower back. Just breathe. Okay, come on back onto all fours. We're going to do a few cat-cows. Move the hips back as you round the back. And then move the hips forward as you sink into the shoulders and take your gaze up. Do that 2 more times. So you're bringing movement forward and back. Nice. Okay, from here, you're going to take the right arm forward and your left leg back. Bring your knee and elbow to meet in the middle as you round the back. Take your face, look at your knee. Extend back out nice and long. Switch sides. Left arm forward, right leg back. Pull in. Look at your knee. Extend out long. Switch again. Don't let the body weight shift to the right when you're working that left knee in. Switch. Keep those hips square. Nice. Now you're going to meet me in a high plank. And we're just going to lift and lower your back legs. Now, while you create that movement, I want you to keep the shoulders from drifting backwards. So keep them over the wrists. Get your legs straight as it lifts and lowers. Keep marching. We have a few more. Woohoo! One more on each side. Nice. Now pull through to a down dog. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Inhale to a flat back. Fold back down. Come back up. Reverse swan dive. Flip the palms. Reach for the ceiling. Grab weights for a tricep kickback. My triceps are still sore from Saturday. Anyways, we're going to start by doing one at a time, but you're going to hold 2 weights. So it's going to look like this. You're going to lean over. You're going to hold 1 weight up, so you've got muscle engaged, while you work the other kickback. Okay? So you're holding your left weight up, and you're kicking back the right arm. With control. And please don't squeeze your weight. A lot of people, when they do this exercise, they over grip. That just creates problems for your elbow. Control it. If you have to swing it to get it back straight, your weight is too heavy. Keep that left elbow nice and high. 2 more on that right arm. Now, we're just going to switch. Right elbow up, left arm kicks back. Keep the shoulders nice and broad. Don't let them round forward. Boy, is it ever pouring rain here. Whew. No dog walking today, Lily. Okay, 5 more if you can. Keep the other elbow up. It's going to be tired too. Okay. Oh, that's enough of that muscle. Okay, we're coming down to do a little core stretch and then go to work. So cheers, get water if you need it. We're almost done. So let's Pilates style it down. So feet to the corners of the mat, arms out in front, C curve your spine. Play a little game with yourself and see how slow you can go while you keep the belly in. It's all about the belly. We know that, right? Really slow. When you feel that you got both your shoulder blades down on the floor, then you can lower the head. Then we can take the arms back for a fabulous stretch. So point your toes, reach your arms nice and long. Now bring the arms forward. As soon as they're over your shoulders, your hands, lift your head, tuck your chin. Now before you start to come up, you got to pull the belly down. You got to keep it down. Dive between your legs. Keep your spine rounded. Reverse it. Spine is in flexion this whole time, except when you're reaching. Bring the arms back forward. Now we're going to add on to this. So just to make it a little more interesting, put a slight bend in your legs. So just have your heels on the floor. So you got your legs bent, your heels down, and you're doing the exact same exercise. Try to keep it as smooth as when your legs were straight. You're still diving between your legs. Nothing else has changed except your legs are bent. A little different dynamic. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're just stretching and signing off. Okay, arms go all the way back. Straighten out those legs. Now take the arms by your side. Bend your legs, heels close to your butt. Take your right foot, cross it over your left thigh. Figure 4 stretch. Move the right knee away from you and your left knee in. To start the movement in, don't use your hands. But once you got the knee in, then you can bring the hands into play to get a little more range of motion. Play around with the angles. You can also here rotate your pelvis forward. So you create space between the low back and the floor. Gives you a little more intense release through that right hip. But if it doesn't feel good for your back to do that, please modify. Okay, I'm going to let my back roll back down on the floor. Left foot down, right foot down. I'm going to switch legs. So when you take that left foot to your thigh, make sure that left foot stays flexed. Then you lift the right knee. So you're drawing the left knee away and the right knee in, and you can roll off that low back. Just hold here for a few more breaths. We're almost out of time, but this is important. This is good for you. This is starting your day off right. It only gets better from here. Okay, uncross. Rock and roll back up onto your toes. Nice and high on the toes here just for a sec. Let's get our blood flow going in the right direction. Lift really high on the toes. It should feel fabulous. Okay. Full fold, looking through your knees, fold your arms. Take 3 breaths.
Okay, hands above your knees, come up nice and slow.
Take a nice big deep breath. I thank you so much for your power and strength. Have an amazing day. Thank you. Yay, we did it.